Hello and welcome to the marvellous Nemo Race with the glorious British sun here in the middle. I think we're in Warwickshire. I'm not actually certain which county of the UK. As you can see from my squinty face, we've got the sun shining right at us. Oh, and we're lucky enough, as we're about to start round 5 of RCGP. It's event 5, round 3. We have some great and good to talk to. Let's talk to one of our newcomers first, James, who come through. So we have James Pavot, who's driving for Beach RC. James, how have you found the RCGP experience so far?
It's been really good. Yeah, I mean the track's really nice. Excellent presentation of it, and it's great to have all the interviews here. And yeah, it's been really good.
Now you're from a small island called Guernsey. For our international viewers, that's a kind of there's 3 or 4 islands called the Channel Islands, which kind of nestle in a cuddle of France, but actually are sort of part of the UK. What's the racing scene like in that small island?
Yeah, I mean we have about 50 members in our club, and we have a great bunch of racers. So it's really good. I mean we've got a lot of kids racing through all the different types of classes, so it's good.
So, because you're very used to, because sort of every race, when you do your national, it's an international. Because you're always, so is it a boat across the mainland or the plane, or?
It depends on boat times, but normally it is the boat. But the plane is expensive, but it is handy.
And of course, so you are raising your boat on this event, working with the Beach RC teams that have been a good experience so far. Yeah,
it's been really good. Boda's a great teammate, and it's I like the clothing.
That's always key. Always key to like the clothing.
I'm going to try and sneak it away at the end of the clothing.
Fine, we should no problem at all. They don't really count it all out. I found this. I mean, if you're very lucky, you actually get some better clothing, because that happened halfway through this event. Everyone got better clothing. Zach's behind the cameras nodding. They got much nicer hoodies than I got 2 events ago. It's very upsetting.
Yeah, our hoodies are a bit small, so we've kind of been stretching them.
Ah, you see.
Luckily, I'm too small, really, but so the small hoodie kind of fits.
Great, thanks, James. Brilliant stuff. Good luck on this first qualifier. And next, let's have the man who's already pocketed 3 big RCGP points to maintain his overall lead. It's David Rummerfalk. A bit close to the camera. So let's talk about it, because you have been historically the biggest victim of these gate starts. But with a new gate start, you're just loving it, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I had some good start yesterday there. I think overall it's easier for everyone having the grip you have with the carpet gate start, because like on the dirt in the previous events, the cars have been moving more sideways off the gate. Here the cars are just pulling straight, and it looks like it's a little bit easier, at least going down the straight and into the first corner, even though I think we're going to see some carnage in the first corner over the first jump there.
I know obviously the rush is just an individual event. It's a lot of fun, a few points, and a chance to spray champagne and drink the carver later. Does it give you more confidence going into today?
No, but I mean, for sure, all day yesterday, the car was very fast, and we kept on working on some things to try to improve the consistency of it. And I think we found a very good base and felt comfortable this morning as well. So looking forward to today.
It's all heads-up racing all day. The one thing we didn't see a lot of was actual overtaking. We saw people making mistakes and being overtaken. Is it somewhere you can actually get past people?
I think, I mean, you have to stay patient on this track. As soon as you start to push a little bit more than what your normal go-to whatever drive is, you're going to make mistakes. So it's all about staying patient and trying to keep the pressure on the guy in front of you. If you want to pass him, you probably have to push him to make like a slight mistake or go wide in the corner, and then you can dive on the inside. But yeah, it's very hard, because like obviously with the grip, like if you touch each other, the cars are going to roll over. So we're for sure going to see some good battles out there. But yeah, it's all about staying patient.
Great stuff. Thank you, David. And now I'll go with the homeboy. It's Lee Martin, who always points out in his vignettes he's from Newbury. Why particularly do you want everyone to know you're from Newbury in England?
Well, that's where I'm from, so...
But is it like, I'm the Newbury Massive or something?
Well, no, not really. Just add some context to it all.
Now, of course, you have finally decided to use the brand new Agama car with the lay-down front end, which is, as we were saying to Lefty, is reminiscent of like the Tamiya cars of the late 80s. I assume slightly more robust and better design. I mean, how you find the new machine here?
Yeah, good. It's a learning curve. First time we ran it here on our track. But yeah, it's been good fun. Each time we're trying something different and working our way there. But yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, because everyone thinks you've been pounding the laps around here the last couple of weeks. Apparently that's not so.
Well, it's true, but on my feet, like pegging stuff and putting carpet down. But yeah, we've been so busy leading up to this to make it as good as we could and make it look perfect as much as we could. So all hands on deck, really, and haven't been able to run. Only last weekend we had an e-buggy national, but that's been it. So
So thank you, Lee. And I can see from the corner of my eye, young Elliot Boots, who's... No, I say young. See, I call him young Elliot Boots because the first time I met him, he was tiny and little, and now he's a dad and he's everything else, and he's not... But to me, you'll always be...
You can still call me young if you like. Yeah.
Okay, well, you'll always be as young as you, to me. Anyway, back to the story again. Now, this is your second home race, really, isn't it? You had a home race in Italy, which was within like 10 feet of your house, and now this is actually your home race because you are, of course, an Englishman.
Yeah, home from home. But yeah, no, it's great being here. It's slightly different from the last round, but yeah, it's good fun.
And you were here for last week's e-buggy, is that true? Did you learn a lot there?
Yeah, I didn't run e-buggy, I ran truggy, but we got a bit of practicing, driving the track, getting a feel for it. But yeah, no, it's going good.
And how tricky is this AstroTurf, whatever it is, plastic carpet stuff?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's been quite a challenge getting the right setup. I feel that we're not quite there yet, but we're pretty close. And being that it's not too technical with jumps, so it's pretty close on times. There's a 10th in it after like 4 laps between a few of us. So yeah, it's close racing.
Great, so I think good luck for the race. Now, as we alluded to in our conversation with David, of course, there was an event yesterday. It was the RCGP Rush. It was all action again, but don't take my word for it. Why don't you watch the highlights yourself? Who will get those all-important points? Who will get the all-important bragging rights? Will we see an actual accident off a great start? Not seen any so far. Unbelievable. Let's go. Oh, and even was pushed out. Oh, we have seen one now, because they've rolled over each other. Not too serious, but the big loser was Daniel Ongaro, got driven over by somebody. I wasn't quite sure which one it was. Ronafat really bossing this at the moment, isn't he? Just out there, you'll see him there as he comes in the shot from Evening, and then the other two as well. But it's still in last place, Boots, who actually was my favourite for this.
Yeah, it's Boots. I thought was going to be really good, but he seemed to have some issues today, and just not showing the pace that he should in this rush format.
Boots and Ongaro now having a massive row in the background, as you can see. Whilst we concentrate on the cars that are actually scrapping, even holding second, therefore getting 2 championship points. Ongaro third for 1 championship point, but I get the impression that Ongaro would quite like a second championship point if he can't get the win, and he's now hassling Even as they go through the touring car section onto the bricks, and they'll power down, and that's it and done. And Ronafelt wins Even in second, Ongaro third.
You can't push much at all out there. Car setup has to be very good.
Either drink the carver or spray on. Oh, it's spraying on people. Okay. Whoa. And you come back to us now as the cars are running their warm-up. 3 much-needed minutes. I am joined, as I will be all weekend, by Keenan Lefty the Great. White, how are you?
Morning, Nick. How are you? Morning to everybody that's tuning in. Nitro is truly the glory here at Nemo Raceway.
Well, nothing else is paying the bills because there's only Nitro.
So we've been blessed with some beautiful weather this weekend, and today is supposed to be another great day of sunshine. Who would have thunk RCGP comes to the UK and brings the good weather?
Well, I'm pleased about it. But, of course, one of the reasons that is quite important is this... the defining feature of this track is this large expanse of black. I don't call it carpet. It's not really. It's kind of a... It's not the AstroTurf, because I've never seen anything like it before. But a large black plastic matting, let's call it that, which is causes down on the track to enable Nemo to run this circuit 365 days a year. Because actually, the weather we have at the moment, as you know, having previously lived here, Lefty, is not the norm. This lovely, glorious summer we've had with virtually no rain. But you can tell it's getting bad because the hosepipe bands are turning up. But yeah, so it's designed. This track will run when the carpet is wet. So all they'll do when it gets inclement is they'll cut out the old-fashioned section, which is still left, the clay and everything else, and just run the cars purely on the carpet. It's a commercial decision.
Yeah, and he also, I believe, John wants to have 10-scale nationals here as well, so he will have that readily available. I know he tried the oil many times, and he just said it was not sustainable. So let's see. This has actually been the big challenge for everybody is the surface. So you can go fast, but it catches you out really quick, as we've seen many accidents even on the straightaway yesterday.
Yeah, huge amounts of grip. So the cars have been lowered, they've been stiffened, they've been trying to remove grip from the front especially. So the cars are really completely set up to work well on the very large expanses of the carpet. Therefore, when they get onto the mud sections and the clay sections and everything else, a little bit less... effective, let's say it that way, shall we?
Yes, and the dirt sections are rough. Let's get that. They are really rough. There's lots of hills. It's loose. So And even on the we have to figure out a name for the black material, but
Black material.
it's still bumpy out there. There's bumps underneath the track. It's not completely smooth, and it's just like I said, the surface has been the big factor and the big reason that these guys haven't been able to. It's just been a big challenge for them all.
But as they say, a common thing is said, it's the same for everybody.
Yes.
So those of you who are new to RCGP, there will be 3 qualifying rounds today. They are all 5 minutes plus 2 laps. Lap times here about 34, 36 seconds, I think, at the moment. So a little bit longer, actually, interesting than we had in Italy, even though the track looks much smaller. It just actually is longer. The 3 rounds that they add together, that produces their starting positions for the 2-legged finals, which were both 13 minutes plus 2 laps. And the finals are aggregated score with the second one. Well, we'll come to that more as we go. But anyway, there's 3 qualifying rounds is the key point. Drivers walking out towards the gate. Who's your tip for this one, Lefty?
Oh, I'm not picking anybody.
Okay, you're now fine because your job is to pick someone.
All right, let's pick. Let's go with. I'm going to pick B Rose today. I'm going with
Brandon has been. Brandon, the American, of course, our sole American driver has been. I'm wide for Zach. He's sitting there. It has been very much the newcomer here. He had to learn the whole thing from scratch, isn't he? Very much. So
yes.
He's now got a. So he's been getting faster every single time. So on the back row, and they're away. And it looks like another very clean start. And they've come through. It does look. Oh, there's a kerfuffle around the first corner. My guess is it's Boots. Is it Ongaro in second? There's several cars. Yeah, Ongaro second. Canas third. Ronafalk fourth for making a mistake and being overtaken by Zanchetin. Oh no, and he's just tipped Zanchetin now. I'm not sure who's right or wrong on that one. But into the lead has gone Boots. So it's Boots Ongaro from Canas. So you've got this S-Works, Sandy Rosso and S-Works, and you see the cars are struggling to bump out to go over the touring car section for the first time and complete the first lap off the bricks, powering down.
Yeah, Boots is showing some of the pace that he exhibited in practice the other day. We didn't really see it from him yesterday, but he's looking a lot better. He's coming out swinging. I believe the Associated and S-Works boys went home last night and did some serious wrenching after the rush yesterday.
Well, I think they got a lot of runs yesterday, and now they need to do a little bit of the practice side of things. And so, now did we just have a change for second or third? No, yes, because Ongaro kind of backed up, and now we've got Ronafalk coming through in the all-white car with the white wheels. So that's the battle there between third and fourth, which is Canas and Ronafalk. Canas running the yellow wheels for the S-Works, the white wheels being run by Boots, who's still leading this one. But second, third and fourth, very, very close together. That's Ongaro, Canas and Ronafalk, which effectively, the Ali Bruno Coelho is the entirety of the European Championship final. So don't forget, we do have the world and the European champion here in this event, and they're currently running in second and fourth. We have the Euro's top qualifier in third. And don't forget, the only man ever to TQ2 Worlds, hasn't won either, but TQ2 Worlds, Elliot Boots.
No.
That's a little bit trivia you didn't know, isn't it?
I knew he TQ'd one.
No, he TQ'd 2 of them, actually.
Yeah. Unfortunate he didn't make it. I know in Argentina he TQ'd and didn't make it into the final.
Yeah, he TQ'd one of the following ones. I think it made me... don't know, but he didn't make it to the final that time. Anyway, so they are bunching up now. Boots leading Ongaro. They go over the fire grate. And it's even close now. Despite what David said to me, that the car's it's pretty obvious that overtaking isn't very easy. They go up on the old cratered section.
Ooh, we have a good race.
And the 1, 2, 3, and 4, who between them... Oh, that was a little bit... let's see what we can do. Spun in slightly. So what happened there? So Ronafalk kind of got up the inside of Canas, stayed on the inside. Canas was taking his line, really. Didn't probably expect Ronafalk to be there. I'll give that one as a racing incident. Behind these... Well, interesting, what's happened there... These 3 are scrapping a bit, and it's enabled Boots to get back away again. So this is third and fourth. We just see a flash there of second, and if we pan out the next shot, you'll be able to see 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. There's Boots turning the corner. There's Ongaro, white and blue. And the yellow wheels of the S-Works of Juan Carlos Canas from Spain. And then you've got the Swede, who won the European Championship a couple of weeks ago and is currently leading the RCGP point standings. Oh! A bit of slide there, and then it's that was kind of a block check, it seems, in the back there. And then it's gone all wrong. So he got past, and now he's having to do the dance of the seven crashes. And Ronefalk was briefly then in third. He's now back down to fifth again as Pekka Even's gone past him. And it was, I've got past and now I haven't. So the battle now more is first and second as they come through. So it's Boots leading and Ongaro chasing him down with a minute 23 and 2 laps. Oh, gained so much there, didn't it? And then braking. Ongaro gained a huge amount of time.
Ongaro's found some pace from yesterday, that's for sure. They would have went home and done some homework, but he's definitely looking a lot faster than he did yesterday. So
looks like now he's... Oh, well, there we go. I was about to say, now he's been freed of the pressure from behind. It looks like things are going much better, but then he grip rolled, but he actually grip rolled on a bit that wasn't the carpet.
Yeah, he looked like he clipped that pipe a little bit.
But I think a little bit of that is possibly because the cars are set up for the carpet, so they're not even close to the setup they've been using on this traditional dirt surface.
Yeah.
So you've probably got some quite evil handling machines, which you just get through, because it's only a smaller part of the overall speed. But the big winner there was Elliott. As he goes into the, so he's now got this one, and we might actually get three more because of the fact he's about 37 second lap, and he went with 37 to go. So could get a bit of a longer race. It's Boots leading. In second place is Canas. It's 1-2 for S-Works. Third is Evening, who's been the absolute standout of this. As we come round, and he's going to come back with a couple of laps to go. The question is he going to tick the timing, or are we going to get two more? It's very exciting, isn't it? How many laps are we going to get left?
I think he'll make through.
Ongaro and Ronefalk are in fourth and fifth, and it's Lee Martin, Clement Boda, Hampersberg, Alexander Chetine, Tom Roban, James and Pavot, and we're not on the two to go. So Boots got it in with a couple of seconds. So you've got this one and two more for everybody. And the S-Works two cars getting closer and closer and closer. So Canas gaining now. And you'll see it as we pull out. There's Canas just, that's going to do some time. Canas, it's now an all S-Works battle. Boots taking two wheels on the side of the pipe, losing that quarter half a second. And now Canas can see his prey. It's his teammate, but I don't think they really care that much about that part of thing. I'm not saying they're not good teammates. I'm just saying that once you get into the action, it's all about who can win, who can lead. And they come down with 2 laps to go, Lefty. What's your money on?
I don't know. Canas is looking racy. He's going to push the issue, I think. No team orders here, I don't believe.
Oh, no. Not at this point. They've also got quite a nice lead over third place Pekko Evening, who's getting a little bit chased down by Ronefalk.
Well, I did recall Canas saying that he was going to go on harder tires today on the inside track, so it looks like that's working for him.
Yeah, both cars dialed in nicely. Just look a little bit further down. So they're doing 36s. They're all at the best lap so far is Canas with a 36 flat. Actually, not actually. So it's a 30. Ronefalk's on a 35.2 last time round. He's found some lethal speed. But there's only 1 lap to go. So we're on the last lap. And it's all about, Canas under braking there. I think he decided if he's going to over-brake, he'd just use Boots to stop him, couldn't he, really? He comes up over the fire grate for the last time, in through the first of the flat sections. Tight. Elliott has done some touring car racing, so he's got a bit of a chop, but probably a bit more experience. Now, up onto the old... Well, very much Canas there. Didn't force the issue, because actually Boots was facing the wrong way. It over-rotated now. It's just a simple flat section. It's 4 corners. Right. Left, so you go as tight as you can. There should be nowhere Canas to get past. Come on, let sit down. It's a win for Elliott Boots. Canas just 1.18 seconds behind. Pekko Evening third. Dave Ronefalk is fourth. And then it's Ongaro, Martin, and Boda.
Yeah, good comeback for Canas and Boots. They would want to do better than they did yesterday, and it's looking good for them. They found some magic over the night, and let's see how it fares for them as the grip comes up later on today, as the sun comes out here at what's looking to be a beautiful day here at Nemo Raceway in Bishop's Isherton, the UK. So Elliott Boots, Juan Carlos Canas, Pekko Ivan, and David Ronefalk, Davide Ongaro, Lee Martin, Clement Boda, Alex Zankatine, Hampersberg, Tom Robin, James Lepovo, and Brandon Rose rounds out your 12th place here for the first qualifying race of RCGP. Boots is looking super impressive. He was a little bit upset yesterday when he left, and we're going to go over to Nick right now.
Yeah, with the top 3 and in third, it's Pekko Evening, who's carrying on his superb form. Pekko, good first race?
Yeah, thank you. I had super bad start, so I was like 6th or something like that, so I had to recover a lot. But it was good.
Did you change the car from yesterday, or is it still the same as you finished the rush with?
Yeah, I really did a little bit, so it went better this time and faster.
Great stuff, Pecco. So it's 2 podiums so far in 2 races. Well done. Juan Carlos. Well, that was a pretty impressive piece of rain there. You came back through the field. You were that close to getting it.
It was a good race, clean race. The car is a little bit difficult, but we will work together in the setup, and let's see in the next one.
It looks very difficult to overtake.
Yeah, it was super difficult because you have a lot of grip, also tight corners, so it's difficult.
And it was your teammates. You couldn't hit him too hard.
Okay.
Thanks, Juan Carlos. And our first winner is Elliot. It's interesting, Elliot, because you looked the fastest person yesterday morning as well. Then it disappeared in the afternoon for the rush, but now you're back being the fastest one. It's just like the colder conditions.
Yeah, no, I was just sandbagging, wasn't I? No, I stayed on like one set of tyres all day, so they kind of wore out. Fresh ones on today and a bit more pace. But yeah, I mean, the car's, like I was saying, it's not perfect, but you know, if you get a good start, stay clean. When I see Canas behind me, you know, we don't really force the situation on each other. If it was reversed, I'd be the same. So, but yeah, no, it was a good 1-2 for S-Works, and yeah, like you're saying, it's hard to pass. Get a good start, and you can kind of control it from there.
Is it possible to get a setup? Because surely what you require for the carpet section and what you require for the old-fashioned is just completely different. So you're just hanging on during the what I call the old-fashioned sessions.
Yeah, but when you come to like an event like this, you know, we've got such good drivers here in the RCGP. You know, every millimetre change on the car will make a difference, and that's what you're looking for, just to find that bit extra, because we're so close on times.
Right, so congratulations, our first heat winner and a point for the championship, so well done. And, well, we'll be back with, we're going to carry on straight away on the live stream with the RC2 first round of qualifying practice, because we're back with RCGP itself at 10:15 local, which of course is 11:50 if you're in Europe, and horribly early in the morning if you're in America. So stay with us or join us, have a cup of coffee after another great RCGP first qualifying race here at the Nemo Raceway.
So, we had first there was Elliot Boots, Juan Carlos Canes, Pecco Ivanen. Oh, sorry, these are the results. David Ronnefalk, Davide Ongaro, Joe Bornhorst, Juan Carlos Canes, Elliot Boots, Cole Toller. This is the driver standings for RCGP. Remember, there are points to be collected, and the winner will be determined by the amount of points. It's good to see Joe Bornhorst is still there in the top 5, so he has potential to maybe do some damage here in the next round here in the USA if he comes there. So remember, the RCGP is a world series. The point is to determine a world champion through a series of races. The 4 races are, and here are the team points. S-Works is in front. And Team Associated Scampo Rosso, Mayako, Beach RC, Team Nemo Racing, and the JQSM Invisible Speed team is in 6th with 57 points. S-Works and Team Associated have a close, I think they have the battle going on there, just separated by 16 points it looks like. So this is what it's all about, series racing. We have points involved. It makes it exciting. I am a big proponent of having a World Series with points. And as I say that, we're going to wrap up and get ready for RC2 round 1 of qualifying. We are getting ready for qualifying of round 1 of Group 1. We have Anthony Williams, Ben Kennett, Neil Daunt, Luke Bennett, Mike Driscoll, Josh Hopper, Ben Johnson, Alice McQueen, Lyndon Hammer, Paul Casal, and Josh Graham. It's good to see the RC2 guys out. We have a big contingent of RC2 drivers from Ireland. Obviously, we have a lot of drivers from the UK here as well. We're here in England. We have Thomas Musso and Tom Sartell who have made the trip from France. So we do have a very good mix of international drivers here. It's really good to see and get to meet a lot of people that I've talked to here on Facebook, and I'll put some names to faces and meet them in person. And it's been a great this is the second day of racing, so we've had a lot of fun here. We've been blessed with this incredible weather here in the UK. We have a nice breeze coming across. The temperatures are very nice and comfortable out in the sun. It's not too hot. It's not too cool. We couldn't have asked for better weather here in the USA. I mean, in the UK, sorry. The RC gods have blessed us. And we're getting ready to let the RC2 drivers go on their 3-minute warm-up. And then they will have a 6-minute qualifying heat. So this is the lower group of the RC2. Alice McQueen is the only female racing this weekend. She was also in Italy. She is definitely enjoying the temperatures here a lot more. We also have Mike Driscoll. He's the man from Wales, good friend of mine. He's also the gentleman that bought me the cool Lego toys, Beaker and Bunsen. So thank you to him as well, and his son Matty. As we see the RCGP drivers come out and take up their positions. If you guys are listening and are in the area, come by and check us out. We want spectators today. If you're doing nothing in the UK, take a drive up. Come see what it's all about. In the beautiful Nemo Raceway.
What's it all about? Nemo. Here we go.
So we actually have, I just wanted to talk, we have MotoGP going on this weekend as well, not far from here, right?
Yeah, we've got the Commonwealth Games literally running around where we are, and I think it's a cycle race where we are. And then we have, where we're staying, and then we have also MotoGP at Silverstone, so that's why it's really hard to get a hotel.
Is Silverstone far from here?
It's actually about 35, 40 minutes, but just no hotels in the area.
Oh.
So if you go to Silverstone, being a race circuit on an old airfield, it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. They've actually built a hotel there, but it's like £1,000 a night when an event's on.
Oh, really?
And there's about 2 hotels near Silverstone, and then you either go to Northampton or down to Milton Keynes or out here to Banbury. So this is the way it's done.
So we have Anthony Williams, Ben Cannett, Neil Daunt, Luke Bennett, Mike Driscoll, Josh Hopper, Ben Johnson, Alice McGreen, Lyndon Hammer, Paul Casal, and Josh Graham running out your 11 RC2 Group 1 qualifiers. They got 2 minutes left in their warm-up. They'll come in for a splash of fuel, top up those tanks, and they're going to go out there, and it's going to be IFMAR style qualifying for these RC2
Well, the question has to be, if you are actually in the bottom heat, do you want to do that well? Because if you are in one of the lowest qualifiers today, you get a chance to take part in RCGP Loves RC2.
Yes.
So I would probably just try and be quite slow, really, to get a chance to have my car driven by one of the pros and tell me how on earth I'm going to set the car up for this situation.
Yes. I am looking forward to that. It was really fun in Italy. The RCGP Loves RC2. It's very interactive for drivers, and get to see, I think even the top drivers enjoy driving something different, and it was challenging for them. So it would be interesting to see. Even though it's England, I have not seen many stick radios today.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worrying thing, isn't it? I'm concerned about the lack of stick radios, I'm honest with you. If I was really going to be being a stick radio proponent, it was interesting really, because it was absolutely everybody in the UK and everybody in Japan used to use stick radios. I didn't really follow what was going on in Europe when I started back in the 80s. But the Americans had pistol grips from almost day one, didn't they?
Yeah, they had that original Futaba pistol grip. It was like a slide and a wheel. My first RC car was actually with sticks as well, but I could not drive them now.
I don't think I can drive a wheel. I don't think I did drive a wheel. A long time ago, we did a program about. I did a 12-hour endurance race in Baja 5Bs. And that was part of a team. I borrowed a stick radio.
Oh.
I borrowed a wheel radio, and I wasn't used to driving it. I wasn't used to driving Baja 5Ts either. However, luckily, I found a team who were very much on the bashing end of racing, which meant that despite being relatively poor, I was the fastest in the team, so that was all right.
Did you guys finish the 12 hours?
Yeah, we finished 12 hours. I think we weren't troubling leaders, that's for sure.
Where did you do that to?
That was somewhere outside Barcelona.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a big HB thing at the time. The following year, they did it at the Nürburgring, like a track. I'm saying Nürburgring, I mean Hockenheim, but yeah, no, it's Nürburgring. They built a track outside the Nürburgring to do this 12-hour. Actually, I'm thinking the following one at the Nürburgring was a 24-hour race. I know Frank did it, but he's not on cans at the moment, so I can't find out. But yeah,
I like endurance races. I think I'd like to partake in one day. Test your equipment and your skills. So how did you do it? Like shifts of?
Yeah, it was kind of an hour. But the tanks lasted quite a long time, so it was like about. I think from memory, I think it was like 45 minutes, which for me, you've never done more than like 8. Biggest problem I found wasn't the concentration; just my legs hurt.
Yeah, because you don't move. You just your whole body's tense as well. So interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. You have they're on the clock already. So RC2 Group 1 has started, and it looks like they're going through. Let's see. Let's circle through. Get everybody past the loop. We want to thank all the RC2 drivers that came out to support RCGP. We couldn't do it without the RC2 drivers as well. Thank you for coming out and being a part of this awesome event. John Hazelwood there. Man, John Hazelwood has been the busiest man I've seen today. These last couple of days here at the track, him and his crew have been doing an excellent job here at the Nemo Raceway. If he isn't doing something on the track, he's helping people out, him and Mark Rombo. So big shout out to John Hazelwood and Nemo Raceway crew for all their hard work that they have put into this beautiful facility and making us feel like home here. And it's been a really pleasant trip so far for us here. And everybody's got smiles, everybody's having fun. It's good to be back here in the UK. All my favorite foods and drinks that I grew up with as a kid back in Bermuda, I have here in the UK. It brings back a lot of memories for myself, especially my Lucozade, as you guys saw. So it looks like we have Josh Graham out front. He just threw down a 38.9. He's got the fastest lap so far out of this group of RC2. That is actually, that orange-wheeled Agama that just crashed is the most beautiful car here, I believe, at RCGP. It's absolutely stunning. Everything is color coordinated. His wing, everything has fluorescent orange. I really like that car. I need to go find the gentleman that owns it, because for me, he wins the concourse here at RC. If he had a concourse, he would win it. Really like the way his car looks. Let's see who that is. I can't see his number. We have a big contingent of Nemo racers here. John Hazelwood's done an excellent job here of building the brand here between the UK, Europe, and Ireland. A lot of the Irish contingents over here. Barclay, Abernay. We got Rennick Monotune over here. Sporting the Mayako as well. Good to see you finally meet Andrew Rennick. A lot of these people I've been talking to for many years, and I finally got a chance to meet them over here in the UK. So Josh Graham back through with a 38.6. Josh Graham seems to be the superstar of this. Let's see if we can find Josh Graham. He's car number 11. Let me find him. He is currently out in front, leading this qualifier at the moment. And to all of those that are tuning in the House of RC, viewing this with House of RC, I don't have the chat up, so I can't see you. Thank you for joining us. I'll get Nick to get the chat up so we can talk to you guys as well. As Josh Graham still out there with a comfortable lead and trying to find his car. It's very hard to see the numbers from where I am right now. And I don't know these guys' body shell colors. Okay, let's just stick with this car to the end here. This is car number 7 of Ben Johnson. Driving looks to be the Nemo Raceway car. You can tell by, well, a lot of people are using the beta wing here this weekend. It seems to become a very popular wing here in Europe. The S-Works guys are running them. They've been running them since, I believe, the round in Italy. I noticed Canas was rocking it as well as Boots, so they seem to like that wing. Also saw Canas trying a different wing yesterday as well, and Thomas Musso was trying different bodies in RC2. So these guys are looking for every option to take away traction and get these cars to handle well. I know a lot of people were complaining about the lack of jumps, and I would like to see some more jumps or obstacles myself. But to be honest, just this surface has been the great challenge for a lot of these racers to go fast on this surface. It may look easy, but it really isn't, because this surface is something that will come up and bite you in the behind really quick. And I've seen it. I've seen cars crash right on the straightaway going straight because they just make too much correction in the steering wheel and it gets caught. So I know that John has much plans for this facility in the future. He's going to be adding a lot of more jumps and a lot more features. The beautiful thing about this track with this synthetic fiber that they're running or fabric is that they can run in the rain, and that's what he was looking for. He is a track. He has to continue to make money. We have a flame out right there. So let's drop back. He's flamed out. There's Brandon Rose running the car back. Let's see if we can find car number 11 as they warm down here. I could not find his number. Maybe not running the proper number. As you can see, there's a groove wearing in the carpet here. That's coming from the cars, just pushing the fabric and all the oil and sediment from the nitro exhaust being put on the track. I'm hoping and I think most of the drivers are hoping by the end of today that there will be some more forgiving conditions, because it is a bit tight for people. And their winner is Josh Graham, Anthony Williams, Neil Daunt, Luke Bennett, Ben Kennett, Paul Casal, Joss Hopper, Ben Johnson, Alice McQueen, Lyndon Hammer, and Mike Driscoll. And there we see John Hazelwood constantly doing something to this track. This man has been busy since I got here on Wednesday. He has not stopped, and kudos to him and his awesome team that he's established here at Nemo Raceway, and we really greatly thank them for their hospitality. I'd like to take the time to thank our sponsors. They are Nemo Raceway, Associated Scuderia Scampi Rosso, S-Works, Mayako, JQSM, Beach RC, Everlapse, Invisible Speed, Mile Graphics. Shout out to the RC Racing TV and Control guys, Circus RC, and I will shout out to myself as Lefty the Great of the NNRC. I know I was not able to get a lot of stuff done yesterday. I was super busy helping out a lot of the guys pitting and turn marshaling, so I was not able to grab any footage today. But I will get out and do a walkabout probably around lunch break later on today when I have some time. But I will spend most of my day here in the booth calling the races with Nick. So I hope you guys are enjoying the commentary. I hope you guys are enjoying everything. And we look forward to a great day of racing here as we have Group 2, Heat 2 of Qualifier 1 coming up here. So we have 3 groups this weekend. And we have Billy Grinley, Michael Shorey, Barkley Abernethy, Tommy Dale, Robert Cockcroft, Holger Like, Leon Morale, Andrew Rennick, Johnny Stroud, and Darren Moon. We have Leon. He's the famously known mechanic for Lee Martin, and probably one of the most epic runs we've seen on RCGP from the first season. Leon's here. Looks like he's come out of retirement to do some racing. He's also helping Lee out as well. Leon has been doing a lot of full-scale racing. I've been noticing on Facebook, not too much RC. He's here with his family having a good time. Remember, everybody, if you're in the area looking for something to do, come by the Nemo Raceway and watch some racing. We got a cafeteria over there. We got some nice hamburgers and bacon and egg sandwiches and slushies. We got lots of racers here. We're going to have the RCGP Loves RC2 coming up later on today for the, remember that includes the top 6 RCGP drivers get paired up with the bottom of the last 6 of the RC2. They get to drive their cars, and they will drive each other's cars, and then see the RCGP drivers will give them some advice, do some wrenching, and then they go out and see if they can beat their lap time. It was very successful in Italy, very interactive and enjoyable for the RC2 drivers, because without them, we cannot be here. They are let out for the 3-minute warm-up. So remember, they'll get a 3-minute warm-up here. Then they get into their 6-minute IFMAR style qualifying. We'll let these cars get out and do some laps. Get their engines warmed up, and then they will go set to make their qualifying. IFMAR style, everybody will be in the individual clocks here. We have a dremeling station over there. I see it's being used quite a lot. The people are dremeling the first. Most people are the stock tire. I believe it's a Magna Seismic Magna Blue is the handout tire for the RC2 drivers. So they are dremeling the outer edge about, I would say, about a centimeter or less of the outer edge of the tire, and then they're actually gluing the sidewalls and that edge to just take away from a little bit of traction. Some may take more off, but it seems to be the trick here. It's helping these cars just not grab as much on the track. And as we get up here and get our warm-up started, we'll follow some cars in a minute. That looks like Darren Moon, who actually is a rally car driver too, vintage rally car driver. He's won the Barbados rally car. He's been down there and raced and won that. He's out there running a Mayako. I got to meet him yesterday with Scott Walker and those guys. Nice gentleman. Whoa. You couldn't see that, but I just did. I'm right now. In case you guys are wondering where we are right next to the ski jump here, coming off the straightaway. So we're actually, that's the only part of the track we can see. I'm actually watching this from a screen. So, actually, sorry, that is not Darren Moon. That is the young Serpent driver that I met yesterday. I cannot remember his name. But he's the only Serpent car here. I haven't seen a Serpent car at an 8-scale race in a very long time. It's good to see. I know Serpent's still very popular over here in the UK. Tony Advoca. I got the pleasure of meeting many, many years ago at Maritime Raceway when that was still open back in 2014. But RC, the racing history and culture here in the UK is steeped in history. The IFMAR was formed here in England, I believe. And the BRCA has been doing an excellent job of keeping RC under control here in the UK. There will be a national here in 2 weeks' time. I'm sure there will be some changes done by John for that track as well. We're looking forward to seeing the results from that. If people would have... They do have a warm-up, but, track time is king. And the RC2 class, rules were made exempt by RCGP to allow anybody to enter RC2 here. So that included sponsored drivers and whatnot, because they could not race RCGP. And unfortunately, it's unfortunate. I was hoping to see a lot more of the top UK drivers come out and attend, but they chose not to. I don't know why, because practice makes perfect. If I had a national here, I'd want to get as much practice as I can out here. All right, so they're on the clock. We have 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, and you have the young driver, Torben Leik. I think that's how you say his name. I was just reading about him. He was doing a small little European tour with his mother and father. He's a Nemo Racing driver. Let's see if we can find car number 6, please. One of the drivers. I'll try and find it myself here. Car number 6 is just coming through he'll be coming up He is the all pink car. They're coming at the last of these 4 cars right here, please. And I believe this is the young Nemo Racing driver, Torben. No, not that one. We go back one more, please. To the white wing. He's coming on the straightaway now. Orange car, white wing, white wheels.
If you curse the commentators in.
No, he's just the young driver from Nemo Racing. I noticed he was doing some traveling and some racing here recently with his mother and father.
I think they're Swedish of origin, I think they're like.
I would think so too. The name Torben seems very Nordic.
So you got Holger like. I think there's 2 of them, 2 brothers.
Oh, okay.
Holger and Tor.
We have Leon Morale, who's come out of retirement.
Yes.
And we have Andrew Rennick of Rennick Model Tune in Ireland. Nice gentleman. Finally got to meet him after talking to him for 5 years on Facebook.
Wow.
Finally got to meet Andrew. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice man.
Worked with Model Tune a couple of times during the e-buggies.
Yes. Model Tune has been a long time traditional type of hobby shop. You know, lots of Tamiya kits, lots of nice things he's got going over there. He's been doing this for quite a long time. Andrew's a very nice man. Very good to meet him. Did you know that Darren Moon is actually a vintage rally car driver?
Is he?
And run the vintage rally that they have in Barbados every year.
More Barbadian info.
That Barbados.
That car looks incredibly low to the ground, doesn't it?
Yes.
That is running no ground clearance whatsoever.
Well, you can see it, and a lot of camber as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cars are running no ground clearance. They're trying to flat track this touring car sections here of carpet.
That's car number 2 of Michael Shorey.
Our leader.
Yeah.
We have our leader.
And there's Darren Moon right there, actually.
Oh,
and the commentator Kurs gets him.
And he's upside down. He waggles his wheels, so that'll solve everything.
Yeah, that was not the spot you want to crash right there.
I don't think this is the easiest track to marshal on. I've seen quite a few long waits for marshals who are actually doing their job and getting there.
Well, the car's coming so fast.
Yeah, they go a long way past the accident. Yeah, he's basically dropped the car running about 712 degrees of camber front. All in an effort to stop the grip rolling. Now, the extra complexity, of course, for the RC2 guys, and you've probably mentioned this already, is they're on a controlled tyre. So they haven't got the ability to adjust things by changing compound or changing design. They have to run the 6 mic tyres, I think.
Yeah, but what they've been doing is shaving down about a centimeter of the outer edge and then gluing the whole entire edge plus the part of the tire just to take away from that grip roll.
Yeah, so what it effectively does, it negates a large proportion of the grip from that part of the tyre you do it on. So effectively you're giving yourself thinner front tyres, aren't you?
Yes. I wonder if anybody's tried JQ's theory of the thin roll bars. That was the great debate in the...
Yes, we had a very, very good RC2 setup clinic yesterday with Brandon Rose, Lee Martin and JQ. It's something you will be able to see on the stream, maybe this lunchtime, might be tomorrow lunchtime. We're showing the whole thing out, including the use of JQ using his whiteboard.
Oh, he loved that.
Whiteboarding it to explain exactly what you should go. And then the answer to, is anybody trying his theories, which you can find all about later, the answer is yes. It's called Pekka Evening, who has a second in the rush and a third in the first heat, so it's working quite well.
Yes, Pekka, very impressive this weekend. Very finish. And, but at least he's smiling. And,
he's always smiling.
Very, very talented driver. 3 Euros in 3 weeks. 3 A finals in Euros 8 in 3 weeks. And just missed out on getting his second Euro in fifth scale by 7 corners. Then he ran out of fuel.
Yeah, that was certainly unlucky. Without any shadow of a doubt.
We have 10 seconds left in this qualifying heat. And it looks like... Let's see how it comes through and see who wins this. Even in the large-scale on-road, it was very Formula One-esque rules
Yeah.
Engine swaps, you have to start back in the back of the pack. I really enjoyed the Onward large-scale Euros that you guys done a few weeks ago.
Thank you. And we have on the chat on the Vimeo, we have Tara Evening, who is also Pekko's mum. Then Greece and Finland, have a great racing day. That's very, very nice of you.
Can I get some socks now, please?
You've got to do a lot more work for the socks. We have many, many years of checking. And then we've got an extra pair of socks awarded during, I think, to Frank. So Frank's got socks, I've got socks, Matt's got socks. These are RCTV socks. So, if you've got her feeling about.
She's always rooting on Pecco. Every time I watch, she's there in the chat cheering on Pecco. She actually said the car was awesome yesterday instead of just, okay, it's awesome.
So, 51 seconds to go. 51 seconds to go. 51 seconds to go. Actually, of course, what they're doing on this, they're actually only really trying to work out what they can do as the best 4 laps.
Okay.
So it's not a race as such.
Yeah, then they have a qualifying race. So
that's kind of after lunch, yes.
Billy Grinley takes that. He's the fastest 4 laps in that. Michael Shorey, Tommy Dale, Andrew Rennick, Holger Like, Barkley Abernathy, Leon Morrell, Robert Cockcroft, Johnny Stroud, and Darren Moon, the vintage rally car driver.
So lap times, average lap times from 41 to 43. So 41.2 for Billy Grinley. To get an idea, the top guys in RCGP probably were doing averages about a 37 and a half. Does he know we saw 35, didn't we, from Runner Folks? So probably doing 36 and a half. So
there's
this is definitely
Likey's mother and father right there, the Nemo.
My guess is this is a track which is going to see a much, much bigger gap in lap times between the pros and the RC2.
Yes.
Because there's a huge amount of setup. There's a huge amount of extra you can get from Tyre Magic. And there's a huge amount from driving. We see some of the other tracks, and he ends up with, the difference is a second and a half. Now, I'm sure Thomas Musso will be within a second because he's good enough to be an RCGP. But when you look at the middle of the field, you see here they're 4 seconds back.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Brunson was pretty good yesterday as well. So I think we're going to be in for a great battle between him and Musso tomorrow as well. Tom Sartell, who is actually Jerome Sartell's nephew or younger cousin, I believe.
There's a lot of Sartells, isn't there?
Yes. So I met them. They came over with the Mussos as well. He's running the Mugen, I believe, but I think Thomas said that they are the cousin of Jerome. So the Sartell family is steeped in history in RC in France, as well as the Igon family. It's another one, isn't it?
Jean-Peric Sartell.
Yes.
He won the e-buggy Euros in 2018, I think, in France, his home track.
France has produced some great races. I mean, look at Yannick Igon, Renault Savoia.
No, they're a little bit of a slump at the moment, to be honest. But absolutely, when the Igon brothers and Savoia are around, which is really your 2006 to 2000, well, they're all around now. I mean, really competitive about 2006 to about 2015. France was absolutely the country that was winning most of the stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
But now, as always happens, you have apart from Italy, which seems to always happen, you have an influx of good drivers and then a bit of a dearth. I mean, the UK, we've got Elliott, but we've not really seen anybody come up and challenging internationally, and he's been the top international 1/8 RC racer now for, I would say, 12 years. But not 12, perhaps 10 years.
But they do challenge him here in the UK.
Yeah. But the thing is, because you felt, not much you never go at anybody who is winning in the UK, but fast in the UK and fast internationally, or fast in France and fast internationally, or fast in Sweden and fast internationally is completely different.
Yes.
There is a element of skill in RC racing which only seems to come out in some people when they go abroad.
Yes.
And the biggest example that I can think is a guy called Chris Granger, who is a fantastic bloke. I think he won 9 or 10 BRCA championships. He won every year, the BRC Touring Car Championship. And never got anywhere near a European Championship, never got anywhere near a World Championship. Only once ever qualified for a World Final, that was in 10th. And in that same period, Andy Moore became World Champion, and Elliot Harper was twice or 3 times on the podium, 3 times in the top 5. And then you had, and just basically once he crossed the channel, he lost half a second a lap. And there was never any reason for it because he came back and he beat those guys every week in the UK. Every week he beat them in the UK. No problem.
Really?
And you go abroad, and there was just something else in it. Something else in the, he had full works drive and everything else. Just never really gelled with the leaving the homeland. And there are other. You see a lot of drivers like that. It's a very different atmosphere. It's a different challenge to do things internationally.
I would agree with that. Speaking of legends, we have the legend Craig Drescher here being the...
Well, he was quite good at that with his 14 European Championships.
Yeah, he's here as the associated team manager here. I was talking to him yesterday. He's thoroughly enjoying this. So he's having fun. He's here helping out the associated guys. Good to see him. He was a good chat as well. But starting this, we have Kevin Brunson, Thomas Musso, Eric Leakey, Tom Sertel, Ruben Shakespeare. I wonder if he's any relation to William.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's his nephew.
Yeah. Great nephew. Scott Decapitator Walker, who almost decapitated his father in pit lane yesterday with a loose car. Maxim Cook, who actually won an RC2 entry, this RC2 entry on the No Name RC podcast. Actually, his buddy Adam won it and then gave it to Maxim, young driver. Chris Lovell, who I've been helping pit. He, I believe, is the owner of Brookthorpe. Jason Ferguson and Chris Willits.
There we go. Spoken as though you're their best friends. So the interesting thing is going to be what sort of lap times Brunson and Musso can do. We're currently with, let me get the number of this car as he goes back past me, with the number 5. So that is actually Ruben Shakespeare. His dad is obviously Steve. Ruben's the son. Ooh. So we got this qualifier, which will last about... Well, they haven't started yet, have they? So they'll get back this in 10:15, which is actually 15 minutes' time. We have the second qualifier for RCGP.
So, Nick, I have a question for you. Have you been to every racetrack, full-scale motorsports racetrack here in the UK?
No.
Okay.
I have not been to a track called Pembrey, which is in Wales.
I did not realize how big racing was here in the UK till I actually went to some races.
Well, it's a lot. It's interesting you say, because if you think about the States. The States, 325 million people, and there's only you can name about 7 circuits. But every single town has got either its own dirt oval or its own paved oval, and that's where that they've got so much, thousands of tracks in the States, but they're small local tracks. They only have perhaps 6 or 7 or perhaps 8 international circuits, whereas we have 14 or 15 circuits, of which 10 are international.
Yeah.
But it's a very different. No, but obviously the racing scene is very intensive here. So yes, I've been to. I think the only thing I haven't been to is Pembrey of the large ones.
I think my first race I ever went to was Croft.
Yeah, I've been to Croft.
The first time that the British Superbikes were back there.
I went to Croft many. The reason I ended up doing virtually all the British tracks is because I went to the larger ones in my youth to see big events. And then I was doing the British Touring Car Championship for ITV, for ITV subsidiary for a while. So I ended up going to all the small tracks. I even went to Mondello Park in Dublin as well, but not Dublin. It's just outside Dublin. Because that was part of the championship. Suddenly you end up going to all the British circuits.
I got to go. I watched British Touring Car at Snetterton back in 2004.
That's the old Snetterton. They've redesigned it since then.
Really?
Yeah. Well, of course, Snetterton used to have a fantastic RC track.
Yes, they had an on-road track there.
They used to have the Tamiya on-road track. That shut, I'm going to say 4 years ago, shut before the pandemic.
Okay.
That was run by a very odd man. Very odd man ran that circuit. In fairness to the very odd man, he also paid for it, so, it's his toy box. What can you do?
Yes. Oh, look, where is Thomas Musso? He is just not checked in yet. Well, he is checked in now, and he just throws down a 38.6.
Yeah, where's Thomas Musso? In the lead. Oh, wow.
Let's see if we can find the Frenchman.
Well, with the green car, well, let's stay with the green machine. We'll identify who it is. He'll come around the corner in a second. He's just going through the flat track section. There he goes, some of the straight. Oh, he's going to pits. That's ruined the whole. Oh, no, he's got 1 car ahead. Thanks for that. Now he's going big and blatting down the straight car. Number 4, that is. That is the Sartell. That's Tom Sartell.
Yes, the young Frenchman has made the trip over with his dad. A name like Sartell, big expectations, I would say.
Ooh.
He's running, I believe, the Mugen class. Seen quite a few Mugens here this weekend here at the RCGP.
Yeah, there seems to be a couple of factories have kind of embraced it. A couple of factories have, what's the word for it? Not.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. As always, with RC, sometimes things that shouldn't get political do. And that certainly happened with this event. It's disappointing, but not entirely surprising. I think some of those arguments exposed some of the issues in RC, perhaps more in Europe actually, where it gets very small club-minded and doesn't see the bigger picture.
I would agree with that. It's still going on now as we talk.
I think the Americans see the bigger picture, but actually miss out on the club area, which is you have to have both.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit there going, yeah, there's a reason why. You need to just relax, and you need to be a little bit more flexible, and you need to be a bit more accommodating.
I would agree with that.
But unfortunately, there are people who have differing opinions, which they're very pleased to put into on social media.
Oh, yeah. And we will be heading back to America in October for
we
the last
will,
round
yes,
of RCGP.
which we still haven't announced where it is. But I was told by David yesterday it's going to be there. I said, okay, but he hasn't announced it. The only reason he told me where it was going to be is that we really need to book flights,
Yeah.
And I can't just land in the middle of America and drive anywhere. I can't go, where would the middle of America be? I suppose like Texas or something, wouldn't it?
No, like Oklahoma.
I can't fly direct to Oklahoma.
Because that was kind of like
Oklahoma, where the sun beats
our middle
down
point
upon
when
the
I was
sand.
driving across America.
So you can find Thomas wherever he is, the number one car. What colour is his Musso running? Do you know? There he is. He's just gone past the Internet Cafe, and he's going round the inside ash, coming towards. He's about to go over the big tabletop jump in front of us. There we go. That's Musso into 2.
Musso just threw a 37.7.
Yeah.
And Brunson has the 37.75 775. So I didn't even know how to calculate that point of
it's a thousandth of a second.
A thousandth of a second separating them.
So it's like a couple of wing beats with a wing beat of a butterfly or something ridiculous. You might be able to count it, but Stefan's timing can.
Is this Musso? That's not Musso.
It's not.
No. Unless he changed his wing.
Oh, it's not. It's not. It's Brunston.
Ah.
Because that's car number 1. Not position. That's Brunston. Sorry. He was in position 1. I saw 1 and went, oh, that's Musso. But it's not. It's Brunston. It's just as well we've got the other. We've got the 2 fastest guys anyway.
Yeah.
You're right. That's car number 1 of Kevin Brunston, who was, of course, in RCGP itself in Italy.
Yes, he had
a late substitute for one of the Italian guys who broke his arm.
And just as we say that, he has an accident. The curse of the commentator.
Well, he followed him at 3 laps. He's not that cursed. Right, it's only number 2 now, don't I? There's Kevin. Oh, right, number 2. Okay, Ash, number 2 is just about to go on to the second car, going on to the concrete section in front of you now, up and over the old dirt. That's it. That's number 2. That's Thomas. He actually stopped and bailed and gave himself a bit of space for the guy ahead of him. So obviously it's about the 4 fastest laps, not 4 continuous fastest laps, the 4 fastest laps this is done by.
Yeah. Thomas, I got to chat to Thomas a lot in Italy. Very nice young man. He's actually from France, but representing Monaco.
Yeah, there's a couple of people do this. In the World Championships, there are 2 coming up in Spain, live on RCGP. There are 2 Monegasque representatives, one of which is Thomas Musso. Do you know who the second Monegasque representative is?
I do not.
He's here at this event.
I should know this.
You should.
I don't know.
It's Mao.
Really?
Our race director, our co-race director, Mao, is going to the Worlds, and he's been doing it for a while. He's been doing a few events where he was kind of very kind of. I'll tell you later about how he's managed to become a representative of Monaco.
Well, Mao's had some coffee today, so he's in a much better mood. Well, no, he hasn't had coffee. He's had caffeine, so he's in a much better mood than he was yesterday, and he had sleep.
Right, it's always good. So yeah, so that's 2 Monegasques at the World Championship. Apparently, I thought Thomas was from Monaco, but he's not.
No, he's in France actually.
But he fell out with the French Federation, didn't he, about something?
Yeah, something. But very nice man, and he makes teeth for a living.
He makes teeth.
Yes.
Oh, you do me a favour. I'm having some teeth made at the moment.
Yes, he is. He said I had a choice between being a dentist and making teeth, and I figured I'd just go with making teeth. I believe his whole family does it. So.
All right.
He says She says there's a million dentists, and there's not many people making teeth. Interesting.
Realistically, there's a very good point. Because now Thomas Musso is the sum total of one people I know who's making teeth, and I've obviously met many dentists. So that is absolutely irrefutable logic.
Yes, I also met in RC, I've met people with the most strangest real job.
Now, I've got another question for you now. Who is the world champion dentist?
The fifth scale.
Hey, from the back, Marcus Feldman,
yeah.
the world's fastest dentist. He's also a 92-time European champion as well.
Yes.
He is the dentist.
He didn't win it this year though.
The Euros, no. He had a issue with his car brakes. I think he was looking good. He was looking very good because the actual guy who TQ'd the whole thing, the Danish guy, he had a massive issue, didn't he? And actually stopped about 4 laps with and you would have thought that the winner would then have been Marcus, but he had some technical issue, I think, on the brakes, and it was won by the Italian whose name has completely flown my head there, who won the Italian large scale tour.
I forgot too.
Is it Emanuele Di Marco?
I can't remember.
Was it Di Marco who won?
I can't remember. I think he's a local at the track though.
Yeah. Kevin
Brunson, Thomas Musso.
Eduardo Ripetti who won. Thank you very much for the man who was there.
Yes.
Eduardo Ripetti won. All right.
Oh, Kevin Brunson takes the top spot there in that last qualifier, followed by Thomas Musso, and I lost scoring, so I can't tell you.